We saw a bear. We saw a bear. उठा, वापस उठा. It's moving. It's moving. सो गया वापस. This is day 3 of this trip, and we are in Yellowstone day 2, and we started our day really early at about like 6. It's 10 o'clock, and we saw one bear very clearly and one bear. So this was our second day in Yellowstone, and we started really early. We started at about like 6 a.m. in the morning with all our food prepared. And the plan was to go to the upper loop and head straight to the Lamar Valley, which was around 2.5, 3 hours drive, because all of the animals that you spot during the morning or the evening times and in the Lamar Valley. So, and oh my God, when I've reached there, it is so beautiful. This is the Lamar Valley, and we are watching badgers. Now moving back to our car to see what's next.
फिर अटैच करो.
वो चला जाएगा तब तक. नहीं हिल रहा है वो.
हिल रहा है. ऊपर जा रहा है. जल्दी से देख लो. जल्दी से आओ.
बाहर निकल के देख लो.
अरे मेरे को तो बहुत ही क्लियर दिख रहा है मम्मी. Springs, hotels and casinos, and now we are heading to Mammoth's Hot Springs. We started hiking up the Mammoth Hot Springs. It is so hot. The whole springs are dry. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that, but it's so hot. It's dry. Made it to Minerva Terrace.
बहुत सारे येलो ऑरेंज.
कितने सारे कलर्स है व्यू.
येलो ऑरेंज वाइट.
Meal is this for you.
Is it breakfast, lunch, dinner?
All in one.
Tino? Are you not gonna eat after that?
Sure.
Pakka?
For how many minutes?
1 minute.
अभी आप फोटो ले लो, मैं वीडियो ले रही हूँ. What did you just see?
We just saw a grizzly bear. It was a family, mama, daddy and baby.
No, it was mama and 2 babies.
Oh, a mama and 2 babies.
And what did you see before that?
Before that we saw black bear. Yeah, so finally we were planning to see it, and we finally saw it, especially 3 to 4 times.
Nice. Okay, we're now going to Norris Geyser Basin. पहले we'll have to check the map. View इधर देख. Burnt geyser, which is world's tallest active geyser, unpredictable, infrequent, making eruptions of more than 300 feet.
Yay!
The last one was on 30th of May. कैसा था आज का experience? अरे eating this नहीं, experience कैसा था आज का?
व्यू ने bears देख लिए, बस wolves नहीं देखे. How is Yellowstone National Park? अभी रास्ते में दिख सकता है.
Very good. Maybe दिख सकता है bears, but wolf दिखता है.
Must visit a Yellowstone if you like nature.
Yeah.
Yes, you
And
are.
walking.
Some sunsets.
My 2 days are 40,000 steps.
Oh my God.
next morning.
So I skipped one day of travel because I was not feeling very well. It was really hot in Yellowstone, and because of that, I fell sick. So Rishabh and I were pretty much chilling at our Airbnb. The rest of the family went around to watch the Grand Prismatic Overlook, the canyon, and all of those things, which we clearly missed. But we are very sure that we're going to come back to Yellowstone one day or the other, and we're going to do those things. But our drive, we started back and we wanted to do Teton, like visit a few lakes in Teton and go through that drive and then head back home. And oh my God, that drive is one of the most beautiful drives I have ever taken in US. We have reached Jackson Lake and this is what is happening. Lazy kids. Lazy kids. Lazy kid. Today is our last day of the travels and we are doing Grand Teton again because we did not do it the last time. So we are at Coulter Bay Visitor Center and we'll go take the stamp and then we will do Junior Ranger program with this little girl right here, and then we would...
Hey, I'm not a little girl.
You're a little girl.
No.
And then we head back to home. So that was the end of the trip, but stay tuned because Rishabh has some really good tips for you to visit Yellowstone and what to keep in mind. So coming here in 1, 2. Hi.
Hi.
You've been to Yellowstone twice now, right? One with your friends, one with your family. What was the biggest difference between going with your friends and going with your family? यहाँ पे देखो.
I think I saw a lot of animals, lot of bears this time.
In the second
And-
one. Yeah. But what is like logistical differences between like going with your family versus going with your friends?
Logistical, there was not much of a difference. Like with friends, we were in 3 cars. So yeah, staying together was becoming a problem. But we kind of used to decide that these are going to be the next stops every time. But going in 1 car is always favorable.
Okay.
Yeah. And food, yeah. So like food was easier this time as we were staying in an Airbnb, but then you have to travel a lot from Airbnb to and fro. But if you stay in the park, camping is a fun experience.
Okay, but like with family, would you recommend living in an Airbnb because food was a better option, or do you think, like for vegetarians, like if you live inside the camp, like how does it
So
matter?
you cook your own food.
Okay.
So it depends, and you get a lot of options. If you are good with frozen food and you just cook it out there, so that's also an option.
Yeah.
Burgers or anything.
But only if you're good with like frozen food and like burgers and
yeah.
pizzas, and you have to eat that for like 3-4 days straight.
Yeah.
Then
So that
and
you'll
like
have to
chips and everything.
Yeah, or some food that does not require a lot of cooking. So both are good experiences, I assume.
Okay. Do you have any tips for someone like who's going to Yellowstone?
Give it some time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, you need to give time inside the park. Like don't just try and complete everything in a rush. And it's going, like I think the daytime is not that entertaining, but the mornings and evenings you get to see a lot of animals. So I think you should prioritize morning and evenings to wildlife scene, and the afternoon for the scenic and the other points. You should just try and focus there. But you need to give a lot of time to that park.
Okay.
Like 3 to 5 days, minimum 3 days. I don't think less than 3 days is viable. But if you give 5 days, you will be mesmerized by the way the park is going to excite you.
Okay. What is the most beautiful thing about Yellowstone?
What I think,
If you have to like one thing that you could see like 500 times, what would that be?
I think the Grand Prismatic.
The Grand Prismatic?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is one thing that you may want to avoid now that you've been there twice? Like the next time if you go like a third time, what is something you'll avoid?
I think the initial geysers where you so that's an important tip. There are so many geysers, and the initial ones are not going to be that exciting, but you're going to drain yourself out.
Yeah.
So wait for the big ones, or spend your time wisely out there. Otherwise, once you get exhausted, and especially in summers, it's very hot, very very hot. So do carry a lot of fluids.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is like the ideal weather to go to Yellowstone?
Oh, I don't think there's any ideal weather. Summer is the only time that you can be there, because winters a lot of the roads are closed.
Yeah.
But summer is hot.
It's hot there,
It's
right?
hot. It's
Yeah.
hot.
And do you have any viewing tips, like animal viewing tips?
Yeah, do carry a good binocular or a focusing scope and learn how to use it.
Learn how to use that is
Yeah.
the most important
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
Because a lot of times the wild animals might be in far in the grazing area or wherever. So you need to know how to use your scope and how to focus it. We were lucky that, and you can often ask people as well.
Yeah.
People do tend to show you,
Mhm.
but yeah, if you have your own, that's your privilege.
Any last things that you should definitely buy from Yellowstone?
Oh, huckleberry items. You should try that, especially outside the outside the park on the west side. We got amazing huckleberry ice cream. That's probably one of the best ice creams that we
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
And even the other huckleberry items, like the coffee was amazing. My mother is loving it.
What about the best thing that
What?
comes in little small tin packets?
Oh, the huckleberry mints, yeah, but they are very they
They're
you
rare to
don't find
find,
them
yeah.
often now.
Yeah.
So, but the huckleberry items are worth trying. Any
Okay.
item, I think.
Do you think like a minimum of 4 days in Yellowstone and plus your travel days is like good enough? 4 days including like Yellowstone and Teton and like travel days.
I would say 5 days, 1 day for Teton, and 4 days.
Okay.
I think any amount of time in Yellowstone is going to eventually come down to less because there's so much to see, so much to see. And means this year it has been lucky that a lot of wild animals were out in the park, but otherwise you often need to spend hours to spot an animal.
Yeah.
They just hide up in the trees and then you need to wait for 2 hours or 3 hours for them to come out. So you need to account for that time.
Okay. One last tip for anyone who's going to Yellowstone. Like one last.
I think that's the tip for anyone coming to US. That's a must visit. The beauty of US lies in those national parks.
Yeah. And Yellowstone is one of the
It's I think it's the oldest national park.
is the first national.
It's the
park.
first national park. So and it's probably one of the most beautiful national parks.
Okay.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed today's video. This is my second video in a row in 1 week. And I'm so proud of myself. I feel like I'm getting back to it, but don't want to jinx it. If you have any more suggestions on what kind of videos you want to see here, if you want to see more of Rishabh here, let me know in the comments. And I hope the tips that Rishabh mentioned were successful, were helpful. And I'm gonna see you in the next video very, very soon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. Bye.